This ain't no game, this that CSC game. They said pull up, so I came. You better put some respect on their name. Yeah, 55 was goody. Kill the vibe, how could he? Big Cardinal on the hoodie. Let me break it down for you fully. This ain't your average broadcast. This ain't just no podcast. I'm on the show, spread fake news. We just started the podcast. West Joey, Sam, Sean, Dalton. And you know that boy hit you. He said he was a small fry. Tell him they better make him bang. Yeah, you already know what we be on.
You bet. Here he goes. This place is gone.
If we said it instead of this song, shouldn't have seen you set up your phone. You in the Cardinal sports zone.
Straight steal of home. The slide. The Cards win.
The magic is working tonight. How do you know when things are
The emotional journey to the championship.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Wallman, and I am here with an esteemed group of people today. And Sean, we're coming to you live from the Shoot 360. There's Dalton. He came back. He disappeared, but he came back. Coming to you live from the Shoot 360 studios. Welcome to this week's episode of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. Again, I'm your host, Jeremy Wallman. I'm here with first off, he is a guy who looks like he came straight out of the movie The Barbershop, and he's pretty sharp today, man. He walked in here with his hat and his trench coat on, and thankfully clothes were on underneath. It is our women's basketball and football beat writer, Sam Bazin.
How's it going, everyone?
Doing good, my man. Thanks for coming in and joining us today. Across from him, he is the little big brother, Joe Wallman.
Acknowledge me.
That's done for we're not doing that this summer.
Yeah,
you stop. No, it's over.
Never.
Next up, he is the celibate assassin. It is our guy Sean Barber.
How's it going?
And last but not least, he is the red chipper. He is the 8-star. He is the guy who, for some reason, wants to face off with HS247 in a steel cage. It's our guy, Dalton Pence. Dalton, what's good, man?
Stop me if you've heard this before, fellas, but my Wi-Fi in this stream is getting a little spotty, so this is a vintage episode right here.
Hold on, Dalton. I don't know what Sean's done this week, but he screwed something else up.
You can't hear me, can you?
Let's try this again.
Chat,
all right, now, Dalton. Nope, can't hear you.
Chat, can you hear me?
People can hear you.
I'm
okay. We can hear.
Can the chat hear me?
They can hear you, but we can't hear you. So that's awesome.
Hey,
I'm not really sure why.
So just raise your hand when you want to say.
Oh, I do see why.
It's really a scrub if you think about it.
Because it's mute. Sean has muted it.
What?
Everyone send a
I didn't do it.
Send a go cards if you think 55 is a scrub. Just send a go cards for me real quick.
I'm going to turn off sometimes the TV interferes with the sound. Listen, this Sunday we are hopping on for the first time on a Sunday. I want to make sure that the input and out, everything looks fantastic, other than Sean. It's always something here at the Playland. Let me.
I think
all
whenever
right.
they can start to hear me again, I'm going to
this-
act like I'm on mute again.
All right, Dalton, can you hear me now?
I've been able to hear you the whole time. Kevin gets it. Go cards. Yep.
Do not know
55's a scrub.
This is so frustrating. I have no idea what the people out there can hear everybody just fine. So let's try this. Let's move it back to Zoom.
I'm telling you, whenever they unmute me, whenever they can hear me, I'm going to act like I'm on mute just to mess with them. But again, I need to go cards in the chat. If you think
Sean's phone just unpaired from the TV. This is mass hysteria. Let me try one more thing. I think this might help. It may not. Let's reload.
See, we know. Go cards. Look, I'm packed by myself now. 55 was a scrub. You all did your job. Love to see it. It's another episode of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. Oh, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me now? Yes. Yeah. There we go.
Oh man, this is great. For
Can you
the
hear me?
first,
Can you hear me now?
still cannot hear you, Dalton.
Send a go cards in the chat if 55's a scrub. I need to find something out real quick, y'all. See Robbie, go
Dalton's
cards.
sharing the show for us right now, so
Babu,
we
go
appreciate
cards.
him doing that.
Kevin, go cards. Hey, love to see it. We're going ahead and getting a trend going. Hopefully they can't hear me, but when they go back and listen to this, it's going to be pretty hilarious. But
everything sounds good on that side.
I don't care.
Everybody can hear all of us. We just can't hear. Sean, you have done something.
They can't hear me.
What have you done?
Isn't
I
that
don't know.
funny?
I just keep hearting on
Anyways.
the YouTube feed.
Yeah.
I don't know if that helps anything.
Christ, Sean.
I'm going to send a private chat.
No, Dalton. It's got nothing to do with you. It's got everything to do with slap nuts.
Are we sure Dalton just didn't mute us?
No, because I can hear him on the Facebook feed.
Oh, so you can
I don't
hear
want
me
you to
send
drop.
your
I don't.
scrub. Okay, fair.
Dalton, say something.
Something. 55's a scrub.
That was off my phone.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into. They can all hear everybody, so we'll get into it, and we'll try to do our best. We apologize. Don't forget the Mossy Oak chat line is open if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or however. Send us your questions on social media. Check the graphic below to see how you can follow the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast on social media and how to help support monetarily, YouTube subscriptions, gifts, all that good stuff. Hit the thumbs up button while you're here on YouTube. Make sure you are watching on YouTube if you can. It'll help us out more. Shout out to our fine sponsors, Fitness Market, Four Pegs, Collision Course Crew, Cherry Pick and Shoot 360, Mossy Oak, Planet Fitness, and Rally, the House of Rally.
They still can't hear me.
Guys, it's the beginning of the off season. Of course, we're still going to talk about Louisville baseball and their journey to Omaha, but it's the start of a fun time for us here at CSZ. We'll have special guests in studio. We'll have some themed episodes, on location shows, and weekly fun segments like we do every summer.
This is hilarious.
It's going to be a great time. We had to bring back Pronounce This with Higgy. That was one of the most fun ones we did. We thought about starting one called Explain This to Sean because there's a lot of stuff he doesn't understand, not only about life and females, but just in general. And we're looking forward to many more new segments. We're going to announce our first guest of the summer next week, so it's going to be a pretty fun, exciting time. Shout out for Pat Kelsey for finishing de facto second behind Rick Pitino and Bruce Pearl for National Coach of the Year.
Thank you.
That came out right before the show, so that's pretty cool. Dalton, since I can't hear you, but you can hear me, give us your thoughts on what PK did in his first year.
Okay, so because they can't hear us, I need you all to drop a LMAO in the chat if you think 55 was a scrub. But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty nice. He went out and not only did he walk the walk, but not only did he talk the talk, but he walked the walk as well, and he brought in some big time transfers that I feel like are going to be able to cohesively fit on the court. So I'm not sure what Joey's doing, but again, LMAO's in the chat if you think 55's a scrub. I need you all to send it right now.
I love you too, Dalton. I love you too.
There you go. There we go. We're getting them in. But no, I agree. I think he did a hell of a job. If you all can hear me, I guess send it over to my correspondents in the top right corner.
You know what's going to drive me insane? I'm still listening to him. Well, I'm not. Okay, so great points there by Dalton, I assume. I hate everything about running a studio, and I fixed Sean's errors last week, and apparently I made even more this week as Sean's Pornhub account comes up on the Minitron. Let's talk about this week. Normally, I detest Sean's puns.
Keep those on.
But this week, he did an outstanding job with the titles of the commitment post. Well done. I'm going to let each of you all break down each of the commitments. I know we only got Dalton for about 8 to 10 more minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, whatever. I know Joey's got to skip out early. Sam looks like he's going to some sort of graduation ceremony after the show. And Sean's got a hot date with a sock. So we'll try to get through these as easy as we can.
That's what he calls his YouTube.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. No, it's really believable. Let's start off first with Adrian Woolley. Joey, if you'll tilt the camera over to the Minitron. Adrian Woolley, a combo guard, pledged to coach Pat Kelsey and the Cards, the 6'5", 180-pound Conference USA Player of the Year and freshman All-American, brings an immediate impact to next year's roster. At Kennesaw State, Woolley started 32 of 33 games as a true freshman, averaged 18.8 points per game, 5.2 rebounds per game, 3.6 assists per game, and 1.4 steals per game. Woolley shot 51.2% from the field and 42.2% from the arc. And we'll go with you, Dalton, to break down his game. What kind of an impact is he going to make on this team next year? I mean, we don't know all the pieces yet, but how do you foresee his game translating to the ACC? And then just kind of wave at me when you're done. We'll just assume, oh, yeah, great point.
Again, if you all didn't hear me, I need LMAOs in the chat. If you think 55 is a scrub, it's kind of funny if they can't hear anything that I'm saying. I know that they're nodding, but they're all scrubs. Woolley is, I think, this is hilarious. I think that, there's always a question as to whether or not a player is going to succeed going from a mid-major level to a Power 5 level. But I think for a freshman to average 19 points a game on pretty insane efficiency while being the number one scoring option, there might be somewhat of a period when he starts here to where he has to get acclimated a little bit. That's why I think he's probably could be able to play that Tahad Pettiford role as the sixth man to be able to just find his feet. But I think a couple games in, he's really going to excel. I just feel like he's going to be the future for Louisville, potential 1-year guy, potential 2-year guy, because of him potentially being a tweener in NBA draft circles. He's grown a couple of inches. That's why he was recruited so lowly out of high school. But, I feel like that's going to be something that a guy that can shoot the ball, handle the ball, and also play some pretty solid defense. That's where, Louisville's definitely going to need him. So I'm going to wave. But again, LMAO's in the chat if 55 is a scrub.
Thank you for the wave there. We appreciate that, Dalton. Dalton, first off, Dalton is the host of Mondays with DP. We've got other.
I thought it was DP Mondays.
It can be at nighttime. We've got other explanations for what the DP stands for in that situation, but very proud of him. It's been, I listened to it while I'm out working at night, and he's doing a great job. Had his first breaking news during the show the other night. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, Woolley did it during
and
the
Sean
show.
calls him Mr. Woolley committed. Sean's not great at a lot of things, guys, but Dalton, tell them where they can listen to you, where they can find you, and then we'll go ahead and let you hop off here so that we can go back to a normal show where we can hear everybody.
Well, I don't think they need to realize where to listen to me. I think you all, when you come back, need to realize where to listen to me, because you all are all scrubs. And again, LMAO's in the chat if you think Jeremy's a scrub. But yeah, you can listen on Big X Sports Radio 6 to 7. I'll tweet out a link to the stream and the radio station, but also Locked on Louisville daily podcast covering the team 5 days a week. But yeah, I'm gonna wave again, so I'm gonna look like a complete dumbass, but
all right, everybody, that was Dalton Pence. Dalton, we appreciate you hopping in. At this whole time, I've been blaming Sean. It was really that Dalton's mic is muted. That's hilarious. It could happen. It could happen. Everybody, Dalton Pence, our star recruiting guy. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at @dpence_.
Yep.
Dalton, thanks for hopping on here with us.
Dude's got a good.
He does have a good stroke. Sean, we'll explain that to you later.
He loads up kind of like Fat did. He's got kind of like the load up like Fat had.
All right.
Nobody's as quick as Reigns released. But.
This mother. Sean, I can't stand you. All right, let's catch up on the chat line. Terry Jones says, yo. Kevin Watson says, what's up, fellas? Robbie Dull says, good afternoon, gentlemen. What's up, everybody? From Fabian. Eric Gold says, what's up, fellas? D Wall. I'm just scrolling through these really, really quickly because I don't want to. We can hear all of you all. That's great. We'll have to go back and listen to what Dalton said because I'm pretty sure he said something smart alecky because everybody's commenting. It's a YouTube thing. Facebook is fine. Go Cards, of course he is. Go Cards again. This is glorious. I was literally, oh yeah. 55 is my dude from way back. You were in middle school when you started. What's it? I don't know what that.
Did a Cody Rose throw out in there.
Yeah.
So, what do y'all want to talk about?
We need a stretch. Derek Miller says we need a stretch four and a rim protector. Brian Davis wants to know who's next to commit. We'd like to tell you. Kevin Watson says Pryor, Hadley, and Mint. Why not get them all? Well, because only one of those guys right now is a legit option. Red State says LFG. D Walls laughing. Red State. I swear everything. I have to go back. We have to go back after the show and find out what all Dalton said. Red State said so. Any action yet? Face green smiling emoji. No, there's not been any. You should know the answer to that by now. So let's get individually just a little bit, because I'm gonna have everybody kind of like break down each one of the guys. Sean, what immediately popped? What caught your eye, so to speak, when you saw this young man on the basketball court?
I would say the fact that he fits Kelsey's system to a T. He's either going to the rim to lay it up, or he's shooting a three. But the other thing I liked about him was his ability to shoot three off the catch, or using a jab step back, stuff like that, to be able to shoot basically off the dribble rather than just having to be a set shooter. Those are two things that I thought that make him a perfect fit, especially with a guy like Mikael Brown coming in to get him open shots and get him in position to be able to make those moves and make those shots.
Sam, what about you? What do you like about his game?
Well, one of the first things I notice is limited wasted motion.
Great point.
In his one-on-one situations, I say that now, and then he does a possession with 5 dribbles. He usually has about 4, maybe 5 dribbles, and he's either getting into his shot or getting into the lane. So that's good. That lets you know that he's determined. He knows he already made up his mind what he's going to do. And then it still gives you time that way. If that doesn't work, you could always pass out and reset, or go into your second or third option, determined on the play call. Another thing that I noticed, like Sean said, like Joey said, he does have the slower wind up like Terrence Edwards Jr., but he's was a Power 5 level, the same thing as Terrence Edwards Jr., so maybe he was able to get away with that a little bit more. I do want to see, because he's like, he is left-handed, and he's dominant going to his left hand. He reminds me of somewhat of Julius Randle. Like, if you force him right, he's gonna force his way back left. No matter how much he goes right,
we don't do that here.
He's gonna force his way back left. So I'm interested to see how he counters that once he gets up to a higher level of competition. But really great athlete.
Joey, what about you? I know you didn't do the pre-show stuff because you was out working this morning, but
working it.
What? How do you? Because for me, I'm just going to give a couple sentences because I know we need to move on. He just seems like an upgraded. That kind of sounds like I'm disrespecting Terrence Edwards, but he seems like he's a little bit more athletic than Terrence Edwards and a little bit more agile than Terrence Edwards. But it seems like we're getting almost what we got last year. He looks like he can score anytime he wants to, just like Tedward did. What are your thoughts on him?
I think he gets to the basket. Just going off these highlights, he gets to the basket, to the rim more. He's looking to get to the rim more. He uses his screens very effectively, so like a couple to where that kind of doesn't bring that slow wind up into play.
I'll turn your camera back around so we can see you.
Okay, well, I didn't know if you still wanted to show the highlights.
No, I think we've already shown the highlights 100 times.
So he uses the screens very well, and is watching the ball, so he knows where the ball is. So where he makes a cut, he can kind of know where the ball is going to be. Where his teammate's going to get him there. Very impressed by the highlights, at least. Obviously they're not going to show the mistakes on there.
Sometimes Sean does. Sean would be the world's worst highlight get together. He'd be like, "Hey, look, this is where he tripped every time." Like, we don't need that.
What's his free throw percentage?
I said it. I've already deleted it off the
Okay.
notes. I don't recall.
It wasn't bad though.
No. As Sean called it, the next card of the deck that fell into place, Ryan Conwell. Conwell is a junior who previously, enjoy it whenever you're ready to put the camera back on there. Previously played at South Florida and Indiana State before Xavier. Last season, he scored 16.5 points per game. Start the highlight, Sean. 2.7 rebounds per game, 2.5 assists per game, and 1.3 steals per game. He shot 45% from the field and 41% from the arc. For his career, Conwell averaged 13 points per game, 3.6 rebounds, 2.3 assists, and 1.1 rebounds per game on 44% shooting and almost 40% from behind the arc. Conwell is 6'4", 195 pounds, and is a prototypical Kelsey guard. Who wrote this? Higgy? No, wait a minute, Sean. His game is either to get to the rim to score or knock down a long-range shot. The thing that stands out about Conwell as a driver is his quickness, especially on a quick first step. Once he gets to the rim, he can make tough finishes and finish through contact. His size help contribute to the ability to finish around the rim. As a shooter, Conwell's a sniper, a murker, if you will. He can get open in a variety of ways: off screen, step backs, off rhythm dribbles, and off the catch. He's got a quick release with NBA range. Defensively, he utilizes the same quickness to stick with his man and has active hands that disrupt opposing offenses. So, Sean, it sounds like we'll let you take this one since Dalton took the last one. It sounds like, and I hate to just keep like comparing, but this sounds like maybe we got a second coming of Chucky Hepburn. I mean, at least we could hope that he's anywhere near Chucky's level. I think he is. But what were your thoughts about Conwell when you saw him?
I would say if we were just comparing to Chucky, for instance, to me, better offensive player.
Oh,
Chucky's the better defensive player.
okay.
It's not that he's a terrible defensive player, but Chucky was just special. That was his thing.
Better or worse than the defensive player than the kid from Pittsburgh? I forgot where he went yesterday. He went somewhere.
Yeah. I would say
he got necked the entire game against us this year. Both times.
I would say he's better, probably.
Just necked him. Okay.
Yeah, better. But as you can see from the highlights, I mean, he gets to the rim quickly. And if somebody is guarding him, like, look at that. He does a little hesitation, gets the guy out of position.
Is
boom.
he left-handed too?
Yes, he's lefty
Okay.
too. I mean, you can see his shot too. His shot is he's able to get it off against anybody at any time. He can have a guy right there, ready to challenge it. Doesn't matter.
He's getting it off either way.
Yeah,
no matter
yeah.
what.
Yep. Exactly. He and
holy.
Oh God,
He gonna splash right in her eye
Jeez.
from way downtown.
Oh God.
That's not the one I was trying to play.
He said it.
What'd he say?
He did it.
What'd he say?
He did it.
He did it.
All you gotta do is just look
He's
at it
gonna
though. Off the screen. He used the screen perfectly there.
Yeah.
Ran it, and then gets the ball. He's ready to shoot it as soon as he every time. Boom. He's ready to get that shot off. He's looking to get that shot off.
His like game reminds me of? He's obviously not on this level, but Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
All right, Paul Pierce loading. Look, I want to give it. I've forgotten the
shot.
last couple of weeks, but I want to give a shout out. We got Brian Davis, Robbie Dull, Hayden Redmond, Andre Goatley, Justin McCord, Larry Whitaker, and the one and only Larry Davis. We're not worthy. Appreciate y'all tuning in to watch the show. Joey, what were your thoughts on him? Paul Pierce.
Oh, I mean, just like his shot, his load up, getting to the rim. The one thing I haven't seen on here for any of these highlights is like with his back to the basket. So we know Chucky was really good with his back to the basket. That's what I would.
Is this on a loop, Sean, or is this just a highlight reel?
This is a highlight reel.
Okay, so we may see him with his back to the basket soon. Nope, Sean, it went straight to his Pornhub account.
We can't
yeah, not a sponsor. Not a sponsor. Gosh dang, Sean. What are you watching?
Everybody put your PPE on. Because look out. Here he comes. It's going to be a
Look, we get rowdy on Sundays. It's gonna be. We're gonna have a good time.
Good night.
Sam, what about you? Your thoughts on Mr. Conway? First, before you give me that, I thought it was really cool seeing the pictures of him at the Yum Center when he was a little kid with his grandpa, or was it his dad?
Grandpa.
Grandpa. Really, really cool.
Wait, dunk. Chucky didn't dunk.
Well, Chucky didn't dunk much, but well, no, maybe. I don't know. Sam?
First thing that pops off the screen to me is he's shot ready. He does similar to Reed Smith. He does his work before he gets the ball.
Ooh.
In terms of setting up the defender, setting up the screen, he does his work before he gets the ball. So when he does get the ball, he's shot ready, and just his pace. Look at his footwork. You're not going to catch him off balance too many times. Then I see as well, he's strong when he drives to the basket. Could finish with. He usually finish left-handed, but
did they just put not to interrupt you?
Yeah,
did they just put
a miss?
Him getting blocked in the
Foul.
highlight
It was a
reel?
foul.
Fouled.
It was a foul.
Well, still,
Yeah.
that's okay. Back. Sorry, Sam. Go ahead.
yeah. So when he does, he can get to the rim with either hand, left or right. And he finishes left-handed as well. But he does not like Woolley. He does not have to come back to his left, but he can drive right and either pull up or finish, go straight to the rim with his left hand. So it seems like we got a mixture of Terrence Edwards and Reed Smith with this combo guard here. So it's really going to be interesting to see how defense.
I mean, he's hit 95 threes just in this highlight.
That's what I'm trying to- it's
No,
going to
it's
be really
amazing.
interesting how defenses try to scheme their way to stop him and Woolley, especially when you add in Mikael Brown into the mix as well. It's a
We're going to average 23s a game
Again,
by
Again?
looking. Well, but I don't
we
think
shot
it's
40 a game this year.
I don't think it's going to be 20 for 60 or 20 for 80. I
Oh,
think it's
okay,
going to be
okay.
like 20 for 34.
A better percent. Yeah, they again, like you said, highlights. It makes.
There you go. Back to the basket there.
I don't think that was him. I think he
No.
was the one that threw the pass
Oh,
to
that's
the
the
guy
one
under
who
the
threw the pass.
That was
basket.
a pass.
They got-
That's also not him, Sean. In case you didn't know,
they
I
got-
wasn't sure.
that was a 7-foot white guy. This is not him either. Just so you know. Unbelievable. Well, speaking of, you brought up Reed Smith. Speaking of Reed Smith, his replacement, if you will, was the third of three of a kind that happened this week. Isaac McNeely. Joey, go ahead and put that camera back on you for a second while Sean's adjusting. There you go. McNeely, 6'4", 179-pound guard that averaged 11.1 points per game, 2.6 rebounds per game, and 1.7 assists per game in his 3 years in Charlottesville. He did this as a career 42% three-point shooter while shooting 42% overall. Last season was his best as he averaged 14 points per game, 2.7 rebounds, and 2.9 assists per game. Louisville is getting one of the best pure shooters in the portal with Isaac McNeely. He's a guy that can get to the rim and hit tough runners and jumpers, but he excels as a spot-up three-point shooter. He understands how to space the floor and move without the ball in his hands, utilizing off-ball screens and cuts to find his spots. He's frequently getting open and knocking down the open shot. However, he doesn't need as much room as he has good elevation and a quick release giggity on his shot. While a great spot-up shooter, McNeely isn't just relegated to that role. He can make threes off the bounce, pulling out of rhythm dribbles, or using a ball screen to get a little daylight and launch the shot. Joey, I know you. Again, you're not our recruiting guy. Who hasn't went yet? Dalton went. Sam, sorry, Sam. Sam, tell us before I forget. Shout out to the U of L men's basketball managers, coached by Reed Smith, national champions.
Yeah.
Congratulations to those guys.
Hang that banner.
Hang the dang banner. All right, Sam, give us your thoughts on Mr. McNeely, which has been from the second. Was it the first game between the two of us ended? People were on the Twitter saying, "Can't wait for him to be a Card next season."
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts? As I'm going to watch a little bit, I've not really watched any of his film, so I'm gonna watch while you explain.
Well, if you're a pure shooter like he is, and you watch what Reed Smith did last year, why wouldn't you want to be in Pat Kelsey's offense? And McNeely is the reason why you want to be in this offense. Look at him; he's moving without the ball, similar to what Reed Smith did. Quick release, and he can shoot it from deep. Also, to me, he's a little bit better in terms of when you have a shooter like that, it forces you to close out hard and close out to him because you don't want to give him any space. But he can also beat you off the dribble. He can get into the paint because of the hard closeout, and he can also make the extra pass once he gets in there. Um, I wish he can work on it, but he's a little bit better defensively as well. So he's not someone that you can target defensively like most teams did against Rain Smith last year. You know that they obviously went at him on the defensive end. With McNeely, you're not going to be able to do that as much because he moves his feet better and he's a lot stronger. But I'm excited to see what Coach Kelsey does with another person similar to Rain who can uh, also play make as well as get his own shots.
Putting some of the comments on while Sam is explaining his thought. Robbie wants to know really quick before while we're still watching McNeely, Sam, what do you think about the pickup for with women's basketball with the young lady, the forward from Arizona?
I was excited to see her commitment to Louisville because it filled a void that we needed. We needed another scoring guard. We needed another guard, period, to go ahead to pair with Roberts. So with her, she's a oh with her you get someone who's really good defensively. She's active, she's athletic, and she has the ability to score. So I think she had a career high 30 points against TCU earlier this year. Averaged about 10.7, you could say kind of 11 points a game against with Arizona, and then she averaged 7 as a freshman. So she's a proven scorer in this league. Like I said, she's great defensively, and Coach Walls values defense. With her, we got longer and more athletic. So now I'm just wondering which route he's going to take when it comes to filling out those other 3 positions in the transfer portal, because the loss of Nyla Harris really hurt, and losing.
Were you expecting to lose Nyla Harris? Because I wasn't.
Okay, to be honest, it was 50-50 for me. And I say 50-50 because she kind of disappeared or was not as active in the offense towards the later stages of the season. She was so crucial for us when it comes to defense, when it came to rebounding, and she was able to space the floor because she worked so hard on her mid-range jumper. And we saw that a lot during the earlier parts of the season and towards the middle of the season. We just didn't see as much of that towards the ending part of the season. So that kind of made me realize, or maybe believe, that maybe she's not feeling as comfortable in the offense anymore, or the offense was probably phasing her out because we were so guard oriented. So she was one I was keeping an eye on a lot once the season got closer to the end. And when I saw that she transferred, she decided to enter the transfer portal. I was really hurt about it. So
for sure. And then there was the one. Which one of the NBA players' daughters also? Arenas. But that one you kind of saw coming because you kind of, if you're just now, I don't follow women's basketball. I depend on Sam for all of my women's basketball recruiting, which means I get one update at the beginning of the game and then one after the game's over with. But I wasn't as shocked to see that, because with her brother getting ready to commit to a different school, you think, well, she's probably following her brother wherever he goes. Joy, I'll go ahead and put your camera back on. Sean, you can go ahead and
with Arenas, I was hoping that the lure of extra playing time would help her stay, because she did start to play more minutes towards the end of the season. And with Jada Curry and Julia Williams leaving, it opened up that extra guard spot. So I figured that she would probably be starting alongside
I got it.
Taj, or she would probably be the first guard off the bench. I guess that wasn't enough to help her make a mind to stay. But of course, we all wished them the best. But she was one of those players that I thought the extra playing time or the open spot will kind of be alert to keep her here. But I guess it wasn't enough.
Wasn't enough, no. And before we go to halftime of the show really quick, I want to talk about the importance of commitments because, gosh, how many big name commitments have come out that we've went all in on and not got that have ended up being a bust, and then how many that we just did the regular work to get them, like a Chucky Hepburn. In this situation, let's talk about Chucky Hepburn versus Jaden Quaintance. The $2 million man is what he was being billed last summer. We had to have him. He was going to be a program changer. He went to Arizona State, and
Correct.
the only thing he changed was the dressing on his knees from after practice because of all the injuries and stuff he went through. Which brings me to Nate Ament. Sean, I'll go with you first. At this hour, it's not been made public. Now the decision's already. If you listen to my live Friday, I told you, 48 hours from that point, a decision would be made one way or the other, whether it was by the kid or by us. I still truly believe that was upheld. I don't know. I don't know why. No, sorry. I don't know what the decision was ultimately because I've been busy working today and then getting stuff set up for the show. But ultimately, do we want a young high school? Now, again, I know the kid's a 50-star athlete, right? He's never played Division I ball before. Are we finally getting to the point in college athletics where we're going to take the grad transfer who's been proven, over the unproven rookie, especially with more unproven rookies becoming more and more complacent, like getting their money? And then, I mean, for the love of God, we've got players that have played at 6 different colleges and getting 6 different NILs or how many, whatever the case may be. Denise Dukes, what's up, girl? I hope you've been doing well. What's your thought on that? Would you rather have the Nate Ament or would you rather have the for example, is the kid from Alabama or is he from Diabate? Where's he from? Is he the Alabama kid or is he?
I believe you're talking about the guy that just entered the portal. Are you talking about the guy that just entered the portal?
I don't know.
Because there was a guy just entered the portal from, I believe, from Alabama, University of Alabama. That's like a forward, but yeah.
So would you rather have the big horse underneath, or would you rather have the kid that's never played a second of college basketball before?
It just depends on talent level. Because look at Michael Brown. I would take him immediately over pretty much anybody in the portal because of his ability. He has the ability to be a one and done. You take a Cooper Flag over almost anybody, right? It depends on talent level.
And I just want to say Knipple, so.
Knipple.
Sean tried to act like he didn't know how to say it earlier. Knipple, K-nipple. No, it's Knipple. You know it. It's Knipple. Knipple.
Knipple.
Yeah.
Knipple. Yeah. Looking at it though, with who we have out there versus Nate Ament, he's a really good talent. I mean, he didn't play great in the McDonald's All-American game. He's okay.
Well, he's playing against other McDonald's All-Americans as well. So
yeah, but I would say at this point, just coming down to him or somebody else in the portal, with everything going on, I would take somebody out of the portal. I would take the experience.
Yeah, I agree, Joey.
Now,
can you calm down, Sean, while we're doing the show?
Here's the thing. Sorry. The guy from UAB that committed to Michigan, I would have taken him over Ament right away. Just because
Yaxel?
Yeah. You see, like, he can do a little bit of everything and do it really well. But we're not talking about anybody else that's in the portal of that caliber, right? Right now. So, no, I would take Nate Ament. Even though he's going to be probably a one and gone, right? Now, if you got somebody like Yaxel, I'm going to take him. He's played college ball. He averaged. Now it wasn't low major. It was mid major, right?
Mm-hmm.
Averaged almost 18 points a game. He led his team in every category, just like Cooper Flag did. Points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, everything. I would have taken him. But at this point right now, yeah, I mean, I want Nate Ament. I'm back to I want Nate Ament. Now, does that mean we get him? Probably not. But yeah, it's situational. Almost on anything, right? It's situational. I couldn't say yes or no. Right now, no, give me Nate Ament. 3 days ago, give me Yaxel.
3 days
Whatever his
from
last
now,
name
yeah.
is.
3 days from now.
It could be
change.
somebody different.
Yeah.
Red
Yeah.
State
Well-
says I totally trust Coach Kelsey on recruiting after last season. He definitely
Absolutely.
proved that he knows what he's doing. Robbie says, no, not if you can get Nate Ament. You take Nate Ament. Andrew Mudd says, is Pryor and Hadley not an option anymore? I do believe one of those are, one of those are not. Well, I don't believe. I know one of them are, one of them aren't. Red State says Flory Badunga would be nice. Badunga. Like I said on a previous poster, put him around veterans. Oh, yeah. I like that. Our guy Austin V, AV in the building. Happy late birthday. What's going on, fellas? Nate is still growing, but he has the skill set to be successful, says Red State. Would you rather have Flory from Kansas 6'9"? By the way, congratulations, Trey White, on his 50th school in his college career. He is now at Kansas. Would you rather have Flory, kid from Kansas 6'9", 220, or Ament? Both would cost about the same. Red State says Flory. I don't know who you all would rather have or not.
If the kid played at Kansas, he's played Power Force college basketball.
For me, with the Ament situation, it's two questions that you got to ask yourself. I would prefer Ament for the mere fact that he is a top high school recruit, so you can bring him in here, and it kind of sets the groundwork for the future. If he has a good to great season, it lets other highly regarded, highly touted future prospects know that Louisville is a place that I can go to that can prepare me for the next level, and I can have a good or great season
Absolutely.
before. The second thing I would say would be, look at your team. Is your team missing one piece that you can get in the portal, or is it missing, or is it basically completed? If you don't need a Nate Ament, if you're already a championship caliber team, then you go then you get a veteran guy that you can rely on who's played the level before. But if you're a piece or two away, then I would go get that Nate Ament, because he might be that piece that you might need to be successful.
So on your first point, what was your first part of it?
I would, for the future of the program.
Well, Michael Brown, we have him, so that lays that groundwork. Whether we get, I'm just saying, whether we get him in or not, that lays that groundwork, right? Because we've already got him. He can show that you can come here and do this.
Right.
All right. So on point 2, Michael Brown, Conwell, McNeely, Woolley. We don't need another guy that's looking to be a scorer, to be honest with you. We really need somebody that's just going to be a boss down, like getting rebounds, challenging shots, changing things in the middle, which he could do. But is he willing to like be a situational scorer, right? Not focal point scorer. Like those 4 guys are going to be the focal point of the offense as far as buckets. They are.
And,
So.
Sorry, my bad. I thought you were done.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, if that might be a reason why we don't get him. You know what I'm saying? He may look at that same thing and be like, I want to have the ball 10 to 15 times a game. And I just don't think with those 4 guys, he's going to get anybody in that position is going to get the ball 10 to 15 times a game.
You have to be willing to own that system, because that's Pat Kelsey's system.
Right.
It's not designed on one guy taking over. It's designed on ball movement.
Except for 4 or 5 times one guy took over and scored 30-some points.
Which it happened. Well, some of it, though, was...
You usually feed the hard person.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some of it was based off ball. We were trying to get that guy open. We would run screens for him. We would have him, run underneath and try to get a mismatch, that kind of thing. So I just think it's a matter of, do you buy into that concept or not? Right? If you buy into that concept, you come here. If you don't, you want to go score 30 a game, or 20 a game, I should say. You're not going to score 30 a game in college, but 20 a game. You go.
And Pat, we trust.
Yeah.
Andrew Mudd trying to get me hemmed up, wants to know which one's staying, which one's not. No. Red State says, because Allie and Frew can hit the 3, I would love Badunga around the rim. Apparently, he just committed to staying at Kansas, so that's a moot point.
I forgot all about Frew.
Fruity do. Louisville
kid's
Charlie
good.
would love to have a Trez-like enforcer. Red State says Derek Queen agreed to stay at Maryland yet. He said he may leave. Not really sure about that. But what we're going to do, we're going to reset real quick. Again, this is the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast coming to you live from the Shoot 360 studios. I'm your host, Jeremy Wallman, with the big little brother, Joe Wallman, the chastity enforcer, Sean Barber, and I mean, I'm just impressed. I didn't know Sam could dress like. I did see his glamour shot on Twitter, Facebook the other day, but I did not know he could dress. You know which one I'm talking about, where he's in the all white Chiefs and he looks like he. Yeah. We'll tweet it out later. But Sharp. I mean, not that I thought you dressed slovenly before, but I didn't know that you had that level of your pimp game was that strong. So much love, much respect. Let's go really quickly as Joey shows you all his privates. Out. Oh, you're out? Okay. Joey, really quick before you leave.
Michael Coldus just now.
He did. Yeah. He did Michael Colas. Really quickly before you leave, Joey, Sean lost the password to his company tablet. Any idea? And we're going to ask everybody else this in a second, what his password might have been.
Oh. Virgin 1.
Okay, Virgin 1. I thought maybe boner gum. I wasn't sure.
I get no action. #! 000.
Dry crotch 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, speaking of dry crotch, sorry, we're gonna throw to the most exciting segment sweeping the nation. Sean, it's your time to shine. Hit the graphics.
No.
Oh man, that's absolutely nuts that I can't hear everything, but whatever. Segment 3, again, Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. We appreciate you all joining us on this fine Sunday afternoon. Had 3 questions of the day today. Question number 1 was, who would you all like to see Louisville go after in the portal next? Not necessarily who do you expect them to go after, because as of right now, the prospect board is Nate Ament. What's he going to do? And we've given him a money amount that you'd have to be downright exactly
Perfect.
Downright goofy to turn down. It's the high, as far as I know, highest offer he's got. And we gave him an ultimatum, 48 allegedly 48 hours. You accept our offer for this life-changing money, or we're going to move on to the next targets. So I do expect to see some more targets come out this week, people that we're going to go after. But who would you like to see Louisville go after in the portal next? Question 1. Question 2, it's summertime. This is the off season for Louisville athletics. We're going to have some very special people come in the studio when hopefully it's working. I apologize for that again. But who would you like to see as a guest host on the show this summer? It could be local media. It could be a former player or a Cardinal Sports Zone member that doesn't normally podcast, like Jeff Nunn. He don't even know we have a podcast. He is older than piss. But any of those, let us know. And last but not least, hold on really quick. Taking it. Sean lost his password to his company tablet. Help him remember what it was. Give us your best guesses. This is segment 3. We're going to go to the chat line. You guys are driving this segment. So Andrew said, I hope it's prior. That doesn't answer any of the questions. Queen's going to the okay. So I want you all. So while I'm waiting for you all in the chat room, Andrew would like an athletic wing. I'd like a buffalo wing. I want you guys in the chat to answer those 3 questions I just posed. They're at the bottom of the screen. Sean, we're going to go to you first on this. Who would you like to see Louisville go after in the portal next?
Well, I wouldn't have minded that Kansas center.
Badunga.
Yeah, Badunga, but obviously he's not a choice now. I would probably say somebody's a power forward. I feel like we have small forward figured out. You got Roots who can play the 2 guard or the 3. You got possibly Hadley. back there. Now I know you possibly have Pryor back for the 4, but I just feel like obviously Pryor comes back. He's got he's coming off an injury. I think you need a true stretch 4, somebody who can shoot a 3. And the problem is I don't know how many of those there are, but maybe you could use a guy like I don't know. I'm looking at the list just to see who's jumped in, see if anybody jumped in recently that I would like more than. But of the available guys, it's tough. You know who I see out there though? A guy that Louisville looked at before.
Okay.
Efton Reed.
What'd you call me?
Efton Reed, the center from Wake Forest.
That kid has been playing college basketball for 12 years.
I know, but that's a good piece to have. A big guy that, I mean, that's what you want. Somebody that's the one piece we're missing. I know you've got Khalifa coming, but the way Pat Kelsey plays, he likes to run a lot. Okay. So you're going to need a guy to come in for 15, 20 minutes a game. Okay. And I think Scott, I'm hoping that maybe he develops in that stretch 4. I know he didn't really show anything like that last year.
We hope you develop into a stretch 4.
But I just
stretch
feel
3.5.
like having Efton Reed to come in. Oh, we got Ali Khalifa, 7-footer. He's passing the ball all over, so he needs a break. Let's throw in this big dude just to go down low and just make guys wish they had done anything else other than play college basketball.
Roger says Nate's good, but I'd rather take the money and get 2 good players to help with depth. I don't hate that. I'm going to go a little bit off the beaten path here. I don't know if this kid's in the portal. I don't know if he's going to go in the portal. But the one guy that I saw play basketball this year, and I was like, if that kid was a Cardinal this year, like he should have been, we may have still been playing. Now, obviously, I said that a couple weeks ago after the game. I'm trying to remember where he went. But Norchad Omier played for Baylor this year. I think he's from Miami. I think he was originally a Miami Hurricane and then went to Baylor. His game, he reminded me a lot of Samardo Samuels. Their games are very, very similar, except for, obviously, as most players are these days, a little bit more athletic than their predecessors. That is absolutely who I would add if I could. Another guy, and I know y'all are going to be, well, we've got enough guards, and this kid, listen, some things you can't teach. And I was talking to a friend of mine in the coaching game, and he's going after transfer portal guys too. And he was like, out of all the players out there, who do you think I should go after? And I said, well, there was a kid that played here last year. He was all heart. He put the team on his back. He carried the team, and where you could see other times when the rest of the team just rolled over and gave up, this kid gave it his last game here at the Yum Center. After the game, he stayed out in the crowd, in his mom's arms, just emoting, if you will. Mike James. I would love to see a way back for Mike James. To kind of help with that third guard or the 4. I know that's a no shot. It's not even a long shot. It's a no shot. But that kid would be lucky to end up on any team. Right now, it sounded like he's choosing between College of Charleston and Memphis, or at least they're 2 of his suitors, if you will. So hopefully, so that means, is Chris Mack still the coach at College of Charleston for now?
Yep.
Okay. So he'll either be with the guy that recruited him or the guy he played for last year. So that's a good situation. Sam, what about you? Who would you add? Let's say you had the Magic Mike or Magic Finger, not Magic Mike. That's a whole different show. And you could press on one profile and add them to the team instantly. Who would you go out and grab?
I would go for the forward out of Robert Morris.
Okay. Okay.
Alvario, I don't want to butcher his last name, but he's 6'9", 6'10", forward. He's like what Sean said. He's someone that can stretch the floor. He's capable of hitting the open threes. I think he shot about close to 40% from 3 last year. He averaged about 14 points and 9 rebounds. So. And the reason why I picked him specifically is not only because his ability to hit the open shot, He's also someone who's a good rebounder at, like I said, about 9 a game. But the thing about players from Spain, their offensive IQ is so extremely high. It's higher than most at that age level. So he's gonna have the ability to move the ball, read screens, read cuts, and just play off of what's going on around him instead of having to need a play call for him specifically. On the defensive side of the ball is a little bit. It's going to be different. It's going to be more of a challenge because he's a little bit slow feet. But he makes up for it. I think he makes up for it in effort. So he can handle the ball enough, and he'll play more of that Noah Waterman role. He's someone, like I said, he can stretch the floor. He's a good rebounder for 6'9", 6'10", and he can pass the ball. I think he averaged about 3 assists a game as well. So you add him to the possibility of having, like you said, Khalifa and Kanai Ruth and James Scott. You add him into that mix now. It's going to be hard for defenders to try to figure out who to cover, because if Mikael Brown is going downhill and Crowell and Woolley, they're going downhill, you can't leave a guy like him because he is capable of knocking down the three. So he would be a player that I would hope that the staff is probably looking at, because of his effectiveness and the ability to how he could impact our offense. Defense is going to be a different category. He's going to need a lot of work there, but offensively, he would be a real weapon in Coach Kelsey's system.
All right, my bad. No, I don't disagree. Roger Neese says, "What about the Notre Dame player Tay Davis?
He went to Oklahoma.
He did go to Oklahoma. Okay.
So.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't think that we needed another guard anyway, but at least our dude answered the question."
Red State said the same. That's the guy right there I'm talking about. So he's a good he would be a great offensive.
So you're talking about Alvaro Fulgares. Okay, cool. Gotcha. So that's the same guy that Sam was talking about. He just couldn't get the whole name out of his mouth. Robbie says he expects Coach Mack to be at Texas A&M. I can't fathom jumping from Charleston to A&M after a subpar season. Did they even make the tournament? College of Charleston?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
That would be quite the jump. Not saying I don't believe you. I mean, maybe it'll happen, but who knows? Let's go to the second question. Who would you all like to see guest host? Now, I've got a couple of people I would like to see guest host the show, and obviously I make the phone call and it happens. But Sean, I'm gonna go to you first. After we do, let's go to the fan. Robbie says Sam Madison or Ray Buchanan, since it will be the dog days of summer. Go hit up, Sam. Red State says Michael Bush, that most awesome basketball player who never played for the Cards. Absolutely. Who would you? Now, remember, you can pick a former player, somebody in the local media that we have a connection with, or just a member of the CSZ staff that doesn't, or even a fan, like one of your favorite fans. Like, who would you like? Give me 3 people. 3. Uno, dos, tres. 3 people that you would like to. Okay, so what, Sam, we'll go to you first. Who would you like to have in the studio with us?
I would go first. Football would be Devontae Parker.
Okay.
He's kind of a quiet guy, so maybe we could find a way to break him out of the shell a little bit. So he would be my first one. The second one would be, I should know his name off the top of my head.
Well, now you can't say it because then it seems like he's not important. So
I'm the center for Louisville this year that with the tweets after the game tweets.
Oh, Frank Anselm eBay.
Yeah, eBay. Sorry. So he would be my second one, and third, but definitely not by any means least, Coach Waltz. I know he's really busy in the summer, but he would be someone that I would like to have on the show during the summer.
Okay, not a bad pick. I was going more so for one player, one media, one that hits the other one. That's fine though. Babu says Texas A&M's already hired Bucky McMillan as their coach, so there will be no Chris Mack.
Oh, and I did find out that actually he's not committed to Oklahoma yet. That's where he's expected to
Okay,
go.
so that's the projection.
Yeah,
Okay.
projection.
Still, I don't think we take another guard. All right, Sean, we have given you ample time for one former player.
One former player. Now this could be football or basketball,
Yeah,
right?
any sport.
Oh, any sport. See,
I mean, I would say Peyton Siva.
yeah,
And one of our fine friends out at Shoot 360, Cheap Pop.
I would like somebody from this year's team. How about Rain Smith?
Okay,
Rain
Rain Smith. We
Yeah.
can make that happen. Probably. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know where he plans on going. I doubt that it would be in studio.
Yeah.
But that would be fun. All right, media member.
Oh God, that was. I thought about this for a minute, but I was trying to think of the media member is the hardest one because there's
I
so
got
many
one.
people.
I have a media member.
Okay, who's yours?
Jeff Nunn.
Jeff. No,
Jeff
he's
Nunn.
old. You don't count. Working on Rutherford.
You know what?
Working on Rutherford. Yeah.
We've already had him on the show once before, but I like him. Lance McGarvey.
Lance McGarvey. I like that
Lance
one.
McGarvey. Because he's always good. He's always got some good.
All I heard you do is start off with Mick, and I was scared for a second. I was like, Mick, no. Okay, and then last but not least, either your favorite fan or a CSZ podcast member, or sorry, CSZ website member that doesn't normally pod with us.
Higgy used to. Higgy, we need you back, man.
Well, Higgy is at Wing Station right now. So, all right, let me think. So, obviously, I want Jeff Nunn to come in here. He retired. Congratulations. Still old as piss. We'll have to have him in here to do the show with us one day. Media member. So, I know this person's already said that they would hop on here anytime we wanted them to. So, Christy Banta, I would like to see how Sean reacts sitting next to a girl and interacts with her. My guy Austin Vick, who was on here, he not as well known, getting there. He's young in the game. Like to show off. You know me. I like to show off, showcase people, launch them to the next level. There was one other media, Mike Rutherford. I'm working on Rutherford, but he's a Ruth Dick. And then former player, of course, we'll have Terrence Jennings on this year. He'll be on, so that's a gimme. Luke Whitehead will come in here anytime. So I'm trying to think of somebody that will challenge me. Who will challenge me? Well, yeah, Marcus used to hop on the show, Robbie, but he's too busy with his global empire to hop on my little show. Plus, my studio is upstairs, and that would provide a obstacle for him to be able to join. Maybe a on location show we can have him hop on. That would be cool. Let's see, who was I had. Obviously, any of the thousands of people that are tuned in right now, I'd love to have one of you all on here. But CSZer that doesn't get on now. Of course, we've got Blake McCauley who has started with Terrence Jennings their own podcast, so I can't say him. TJ's busy raising his beautiful child, so I have to say, and double back to Jeff, older than Social Security payments, none. Or KG, we haven't seen her in a long time. She's been battling some pretty serious health stuff and would love to share her story. But no, I didn't. This is not the basement. We are upstairs in a multi-$100 new studio. Actually, multi-$1,000 new studio. I shortchanged myself, pun intended. There, but still, the basement's got steps, Robbie. Yeah, just to name a few, I think that's a good start. Let's get to the last question of the day, and we're going to try to wrap the show up because we know we're taking out a lot of your Sunday, and we appreciate everybody tuning in on over 331 different channels at the moment. Ridiculous. Sean lost the password to his company tablet that I so graciously and fortuitously bought him. That's a great question, Robbie. I think you'll find out here within the next 7 to 10 days. He may be around. We're heading to Vegas for WrestleMania. Going to do a couple of shows there, so that'll be fun. What was Sean's passwords? And I'll read all of them No, Steve's not at Disney. I'll read all of them that you give me as long as they're not vulgar. Well, they can be vulgar, but they can't be like curse words. Or it could be, but I'll bleep them out. Regular people watching can't see them. What's Sean's password? Best guesses only. Sam, you've been pondering on this for a minute. I see it. I see it in your eyes. What was Sean's password?
So the first time you mentioned he lost the password for his company, I was thinking his 9 to 5.
No.
You
The
mentioned
yeah.
that you so graciously bought him.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be a good one, Sean. What in the world? And I don't know if you said it, but I was thinking Dry Dock 69.
Dry Dock 69. That's a good one. That's a great one. I thought maybe Boner Jams 2007. What year did you graduate high school, Sean?
2000.
Okay, Boner Jams 2000.
All after his, and please forgive me, I just came from church. All after his favorite movie flick. You might want.
He's ready to. He's ready.
Yeah, you might want to hit the. You ready?
Yeah.
Booty Talk 49.
He did it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He did it. Sean, now you've tried all these, obviously. You're not stupid. What's one that you think it may be that you haven't said yet?
Blue Chew 2025.
I already
That
said
one.
Boner Gum 2025.
I
The same
tried that
thing.
one. Which
Oh, why is Red Tube not free anymore? That's a good one. Maybe we could do what we are doing, buy a new camera. Wait, maybe. 2025. That's a good one you should try.
yeah.
Did Sean get action last night? Have you tried that?
No. Didn't try it.
Listen, all the people that are watching the show, some of you all can come up with a great password for Sean. What did he forget? It's his password. He forgot it. Much like a woman's touch, he's forgotten it completely, or maybe he never had it. Make sure we're gonna wrap up. I want you all to give me some of your best password guesses for Sean's. Maybe it's sticky, maybe it's not. Tablet that he has at home, and then we'll read those coming out of the break here. Last segment, was it all worth it? And listen, we appreciate y'all joining us. This is running a little bit long because of the technical difficulties we had at the beginning of the show. We apologize, but nevertheless, was it all worth it? A lot of people have been stewing and pondering about the legend that is Pat Kelsey already. But to get to Pat Kelsey, we had to go through a different level of hotness, if you will. Again, it's a Sunday. We don't want to, talk any real negativity, but we had to go through KP to get to PK. Had it worked with Penny Kane, had it worked, we would have never had Pat Kelsey. So, Sean, I'm gonna go with Sam first on this. Was it all worth it? Because to me, I know we had a bunch of ridicule. I know we had a bunch of horrible seasons and circumstances that led to that. Again, we're not going to get into it. I mean, not all of it was self-inflicted. Second season was self-inflicted. The first season was not. Was it all worth it?
1,000,000% yes. Because as most people know, sometimes you heard to tear down to build back up. I didn't like the tearing down part. I didn't like the down part. But it kind of showed us what we knew we were missing. Leadership, someone who is for the city, who's for the program, and who just have a genuine love for the university, the program. So yes, it's 1,000,000%. It was worth it. Because I think now it just made us closer and made us stronger, and it let us know that, hey, we have someone now who we were longing for, who we needed before. And now that we have him, hopefully we cherish what we have now because of what we went through before. So again, for the third time, 1,000,000%, yes, is worth it. It was worth it.
Sean.
Yes, because you sometimes have to go through hell to get to heaven. And I feel like we went through that for
Yeah.
sure. And now
He did
we're
it.
finding heaven, so to speak.
Okay.
Because what I look at is I look at the fact that Pat Kelsey came in and he revered the job and he talked about the job in terms of he wasn't sure if he was equal to, because it's such a big job, such a powerful job, where he appreciated it. He showed appreciation for it. And I hate to say it, but to me, Kenny Payne really didn't. And I think
No.
that was his, and that's
No.
kind of sad because he is a member of the program or
Right.
was a member of the program
Right.
of the brotherhood. And you expected him
Yeah.
to understand that. And he just didn't for whatever reason.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to keep it short and sweet here. I absolutely think, as unfortunate as I wish we hadn't had to go through it to get to this, but Pat Kelsey has got an energy unmatched. I hope we don't ever lose him. I can't think of a job out there. I don't know where his ties are. I don't know where his loyalties lie other than the University of Louisville. Is there a dream job out there that he would leave us for? I don't know. I'd like to think he's turning this into a job that you would not leave, like Denny Crum, like Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino wasn't leaving. He was forced out. So we'll see how that goes. 1,000% grateful that all my skepticism on Mr. Kelsey at the beginning was thrown back in my face tenfold. Make sure you're out there supporting our photographers, Jeff Nunn, TJ Barr, JK, and Keith Russell, doing just amazing work for us. For sponsorship opportunities, easy for me to say, please refer to the graphics. Sean, you're pointing at something different. Stop using your fingers, Sean. Check it out. It'll tell you how you can find, how you can keep in touch with us, how you can help support us. It is what it is. Stay tuned to our social media and subscribe to us on YouTube or Facebook to be alerted every time we go live, even though we prefer YouTube. You can find the audio version on over, apparently now it's over 300 podcast avenues: Apple, iTunes, Buzzsprout, Spotify, TuneIn, Google, Amazon, and iHeart. Hit subscribe, like, heart, plus sign, or whatever it is that Sean does on Saturdays now, because I can't say the weekend because he's here. If you haven't listened to all the prior episodes of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, it's easy to find. Go to cardinalsportszone.com, go to the podcast tab, podcast drop-down menu, and select the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast for the new stuff, for the last 6 years of stuff, and for the old stuff prior to 93.9. You can check. It's under archives, correct, Sean?
Yes.
Yeah, it's so easy. Even Sean can get into it. I was waiting for the laughter. Check out our exclusives on cardinalsportszone.com, the place it all began. Shout out to everybody out there that's sharing the podcast. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to our guys, Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage, doing the Lord's work Monday through Friday from 10:15 to 11:32, from 10 to noon, Monday through Friday on ESPN 93.9 The Villa. And again, shout out to our guy Dalton doing Mondays with Dalton Pence from 6 to 7 on the Big X. Please also check out the new Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. Spinoff sounds like you're talking bad about it. Installment of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. It's called Spill in the Ville with Terrence Jennings and Blake McCauley. Great stuff. Guys, where can people find you on social media? Sam?
Baseboy124.
And Sean, where can people find you on your well, you can't find out anyway because you're locked out of your tablet. But if they were able to get in touch, pun intended, with you, what is your RedTube user ID number? No. Where can they find you on social media, Sean?
And Elville Sean and S Barber 06.
There you go. S Barber 06 on Instagram. Ladies, hop in the DMs. They are so wide open that they could be added to a group text about United States war secrets.
They're so wide open that even Higgy could score a touchdown through that hole.
Good God. Straight for Higgy. Yeet. Gosh, you shook me a little bit there. Shout out to our guys that are doing work, and they've improved it once again. 502 Circle. Shout out. Final thoughts. Jeff's still old. That's without being said. St. John's with the home and home, working on that with Louisville. We'll travel to Madison Square Gardens there first, then back here at the Yum for the second one. We figured out Sean's snafu last week. He had the entire mixer board turned off to the PC but that's why you all couldn't hear them, but could hear me. And Sean, I had one of the worst typos in history this week as I was doing my job. You all know that I'm delivering for a variety of companies right now, packages, giggity. If you want the D as in delivery, call me 55. But I'm wrapping up, and this person like tipped me like $53 tip. So I was like, thank you for your generosity. And then I typed in, have a great day or have a great night. Hit send. I look down. I'm sitting next to Joey. Joey almost passed away in the car. I said, dear God. He said, what? I said, I typed in have a great day or have a great night, and it auto-corrected to have a great booby. I was mortified. I immediately wrote them and told them I was sorry. Jesus, take the wheel. Joey almost cried. I was in the car. I was teaching Joey how to do this so he could do it also. And this was my last customer of the day before we transitioned over to his customers. And yeah, I told him to have a great booby. And I don't know if they do or not. I hope they had a great night, though. Tell your friends and tell their friends about CSZ so we can all be friends. No Diddy. Let's get the chat line cleared out. Strong 4-0 week, a 4-0 week for Louisville baseball. Absolutely, well. They run ruled. Red State laughed at 11:32. Higgy missing in action. We have got a porn comment. Best viewers on streamboo.com. Okay. Sean, I mentioned the word red tube, and your friends have joined the chat. That's why we have backup. If one doesn't work, the other will. Absolutely. Guys, I appreciate you all as always. We hope you guys have enjoyed this week. L's up next week. We talk WrestleMania in Vegas and all the ways that KP, GF White himself. It's been a great day. From Sam, from Sean, from myself, from Joey, from the best Dalton's ever sounded to me, honestly. Guys, have a great booby. Thanks again for the support. We love you all. Until next time, this has been the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. Have a great booby. Like, where the heck